Hi guys, this is the Betamax Man. For you VHS fans out there, we're going to do a very simple procedure. This is a Sony SLV R5UC Super VHS machine. And it does work. I've got a problem. The door, I pulled the door off of this because I was having issues with the door sticking and the door would not lift up. And the door's not lifting up because the plastic piece is actually broken. So I bought a parts deck. I actually bought that other one as a, here's the other one down there. Okay, so I bought that one a while ago. I did an unboxing on it, but I don't think I put that on YouTube, so I'll have to put that on YouTube. But I did an unboxing and took a look at the power supply and stuff, and the circuit board had been fried. I mean, there was burnt, the leads and stuff were burnt, and the whole board was crisp. And I tried to do some bridging and it didn't work. It didn't fix it. So I thought, you know what, today I'm gonna pull the cassette housing out of it and put it in this one. And I have the cassette housing right there. So it's actually, this is the door. This is what it's supposed to have. And so the one that raises the door is broken, and it might have been, even the spring might have been missing, and that might have been why I was having trouble. I don't know, but I do know that I took the door off of it. Now I am gonna plan on buying another one of these because I would like to have two of these. And so this thing has all kinds of stuff. It has, you know, flying erase heads. It's got the Super VHS. What is the difference between a regular VHS and an SVHS? And that is the metal oxide. And so the Super VHS has metal particles in the tape, and it's called a metal oxide. But we'll go ahead and do kind of like a review as well. So this is a review slash procedure. It's not really a repair. We're just swapping out parts to make work. But what I'll do here is we got a blue screen now. I have the remote. I can't get the display to come off unless I have the remote, which I don't remember where I put the remote, but I do have the remote for it. So we'll go ahead and put this in just to show you guys that this does work. I use this deck to play back my VHS tapes. So there's the quality of the picture. As you can see, it's decent. It's not as good as beta, but you know, I'm not a VHS fan, but I used to be, but I got really into beta in the last 10 years. Actually, ever since I was little, I've wanted a beta machine. But I was, you know, back then we didn't have internet, so there wasn't really any way to buy one. And, you know, about, I'm gonna say at least 8 years ago, I bought my first beta deck. And it was at a Goodwill. It was a Sanyo 6800. there's a machine that I want to get, which is a Sanyo 9100A. That's one I'm wanting to get, and I don't know if it's going to stay on eBay or not, but it's on eBay. It's got the panel keys. It loads the tape around the head just the way that Sony does. So, and it was one of Sanyo's best beta models. But today we're going to do VHS. So I just wanted to plug it in to show you that it does work. And we are going to go ahead and get this thing taken apart. So we're going to take the wooden sides off, and we'll take the top panel off, and there's 4 screws. So there's a screw there, and over there, and then there, and then there. So 4 screws. This thing will be replaced. There's a power plug for the motor. The way this is designed is this is the same motor as they put in the 711B chassis of the Betamax. So there is some Betamax breeding going on when this cassette housing was made. Anyway, so let's get started. We're going to unplug this, of course. We'll get this thing took it apart. I'm just going to swap out the cassette baskets, and I have the rescuers on. This is the rescuers down under. I also have it on VHS, the original, the rescuers. So what we'll do now is we'll go ahead, and I'll clean the heads too while I'm in there. I might as well clean the heads. So stay tuned, because we're going to have a very exciting video. Okay, so I pulled the front panel off. Now, to take the front panel off on this particular model, there's a screw there and a screw over there, and those 2 screws, when they come out, and that will allow me to change the basket after. There's gonna be some stuff we have to unplug too, but so here's the shielding plate that we have to take off, and once we get this off, we'll take the 4 screws, and then we'll pull the cassette basket out. We're going to unplug the plug here for the loading motor, and let's get the, we're going to pull the, we'll just pull this panel off here. It's going to be a very, very simple procedure, for me anyway. Now, I'm going to use this plastic piece. This screw is stripped out, and I used a long screw. When I got this thing had been apart multiple times because it's stripped out. So here's the new piece that we'll use from the other machine to, and we'll put the proper screws in. But let's get this long screw, because I had a long screw. I put a long one in because, like I said, it was just stripped out. So, but we'll just go ahead and remove this. So once we remove this, this is the shielding. Now there's that wire goes, you know, above that tab. So now what we can do here is we'll take the, this has to be lifted up. We'll just lift that up just enough to where we can get clearance to remove that. So we take these, we'll take the 4 4 screws. There's two screws here in the front that are colored, and there's black ones, the colored black, the black screws are in the back there. So what we're going to be doing this, I'm trying to show you without I need to get a tripod so I can do videos without having issues. There's two. They're supposed to be black, but there's supposed to be 2 black ones in the front there, but they're not. So somebody has been into this thing, you know, multiple times. It's probably, I think it's had the blue gear replaced in it at least once. I think the capstan bearing has also been replaced on this. The guy claimed that he was the original owner of this machine. Claimed that this had been sitting most of its life. So supposedly the machine doesn't have a whole lot of hours on it. Okay, so this comes out. Now what we'll do is get the this has to be untaped like that, and this is the little front brace that goes in the front, and there we go. So you can see that there I think what it was that the door is the door was stripped. Its teeth was stripped and it wasn't meshing with these, so something was going on with it, and the door just keeps jamming on me, and I decided, hell with it, I'll just pull the door off. And that's what I did, was I just took the door off. So I'm gonna put a piece of tape to tape this wire back onto the side. It's supposed to have tape on the wire actually goes over here and it's taped to the side, but I've took the tape off, so I'm gonna put new tape on there. We'll tape it, but we'll get this in. So I'm gonna get this in, but this gives you kind of an opportunity to see this mechanism. And it looks like this has been lubricated. Somebody's been in here and lubricated this gear assembly here. Now, supposedly he had a technician look at it and do some, you know, greasing and stuff. So, you know, this is not froze up or anything, so it's nice and free, so we don't have to worry. We don't have to worry about the blue gear breaking. But the blue gear does break on these, obviously. There's at least 3 or 4 YouTubers that have mentioned, there's probably several that have mentioned the broken blue gear. And I've replaced the broken blue gear on one of my other regular VHS decks, that Sony that I had, the other Sony, which had flying erase heads as well, and that was the reasoning for me buying it, is because I wanted that specific model, and I think it was an SLV 550 or something like that. But so we're gonna put everything back in now. We'll put it all back together, and then we'll clean the heads, and we'll clean the audio and control track head. We'll clean the caps and the tape path and all that. So we'll be getting it all together. So the best way to clean the heads, as I've showed many times before, which is why I'm not really going to show you this time, cleaning heads, because I've already done this procedure, but soak a piece of paper in rubbing alcohol. I prefer to have at least 90% or higher. 99% would be the best. If you have 70%, that'll work. However, you gotta remember that it's gonna take longer to dry the heads. So if you have like 91% or 99%, it's better because it'll evaporate quicker. So you just have to give it more time to dry, because if you put a tape in with the drum being wet, you'll wrap the tape around the head and snap your tape, and you might even do other, it might even have other issues. But anyway, so just apply it and put it up against the head and just turn it counterclockwise, and let's do counterclockwise. So anyway, but we'll do that, and then you should take a Q-tip and you can clean your audio and control track, clean your capstan, you can clean your pinch roller, clean your erase head right here. I believe this model does have flying erase heads, but I am not 100% sure on that. I believe it does, however, I don't know. It's not mentioning anything about flying erase heads, but it probably does have them because this was one of the higher end models. I believe this model is from 1989, maybe 89 or 90. Yeah, it might have been 88, I don't know. We'll look on the back and see when it was manufactured, but I know it was the late 80s because, you know, basically Sony knew that the format wars were ended, and VHS was the winner, and so Sony says to keep up with what the people want, I'm going to make VHS decks, but we're still going to support the beta format. Anyway, so I'm going to clean the heads, and then we'll put the shielding plate back on, and we'll put it all back together. So I'm hoping that the cassette basket works. I don't know if it does or not because I never tested the cassette basket, but it looks to be okay. So I'm gonna get this front piece on, but before I put the shielding plate on, I want to make sure that the tape does go in and out properly without any issues. Now, I've been thinking for a while that I'm going to just recap the power supply. So one of these days we'll take the power supply out and we'll put all new capacitors in it. The reasoning for doing this is simply because I have there was a YouTuber who is a technician. There were some other technicians that I was talking to, and basically the problems that these have is the power supply. The capacitors get bad, they go bad, they start to leak, and they cause damage. And when I was working on this other machine with the other power supply, I seen, you know, the board was just fried. It had gotten so hot. Probably somebody had recapped it, and they probably didn't put a high temp cap. You're supposed to put 105-degree caps in the power supply, and probably what happened was they probably threw in some 85-degree, and it had gotten hot and fried the board, so making that machine a write-off. So to prevent that from happening to this machine, I will take an inventory of all the capacitors that I will need, because I want to get all the right capacitors. I'm not going to go up on the voltage or nothing like that. I'm going to get the exact capacitors that it's needed, and they've got to be 105 degree. So that's what we'll do. So let me put the front face on. Let's get this front face plate on. And we'll get the machine back together. Now this front face plate is kind of scratched. And what I might do is change the face plate. So I'm going to have to do this with 2 hands. So okay, so let's go ahead and insert the tape and just make sure that everything is good. Yep, seems to work. Okay, let's see if it'll eject. Good deal. So, that's good. The cassette basket works. So, now if I have the drawer open, there's not going to get no dust is going to get inside of here. You know, I don't want dust inside of my machine, and that's what can happen if you don't have the door on there. And that's one of the reasons why the VCRs have a door on there, is to keep the dust out. Because the dust gets in there, and if the dust gets on the heads, it can dirty, you know, everything gets dirty, and, you know, you can contaminate the tape, and blah, 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 you know. But anyway, what I'm saying is now I'm not going to get any dust getting in the machine, and it looks good. It looks really good to have that door on there. You know, the nice thing about this model is it does have front inputs, and it does have the, of course, the Super VHS also has the S-Video. This thing has high-speed rewind, which is really cool, really neat. So how that works is it unthreads the tape, or it unwraps the tape around, and it'll do so it'll retract the tape, and then it'll rewind it really fast within about a minute or two. It's like 1 minute. It'll completely rewind a whole entire T120 tape. And you know, this is not a T120 tape. This is a shorter tape, because Disney only, well, movie companies would only use the length tape that they needed. And this is probably like a T90 or something. But anyway, so it seems to work good. So yeah, and it's working really good. So, and just making sure that my hi-fi audio light is working. My meters are working. So now, they worked before this, so that doesn't matter. This, when I was saying about the meters, that don't matter, because you're just putting a cassette housing in. Obviously, it's not going to change that, but what I'm saying is that I'm just, because I have it apart, and because I'm looking at it, you know, I want to make sure everything is working, you know, because if this has a problem, I want to fix it now, while I have it apart. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to say. But anyway, so this thing is very nice. I wish that you know, my friend Mr. Magnetoscope, he wanted me to do a review on this, and I promised him a review, and I never got around to doing it. And he's no longer here, so I know that, you know, he's on the other side, and, you know, who knows, maybe he's come to visit me just now, just to look at the machine, because this was one of his favorite machines. He was wanting one of these machines, but I don't think he wanted to pay the price that normally you have to pay. I paid $350 for this. Yeah, it was $350, but we'll do power supply recapping. I don't know if it's got its original caps. It may not have the original caps. You know, it might have been recapped already, and that might be why the power supply is working, because I used a lot of the Elna capacitors. Elna caps are crap. They just are. So now that we know the cassette basket works, you know, we can kind of give you a quick video on the workings of this machine. So we'll put the tape in. So just, that switch might be a little dirty because I have to push it in quite far before it takes the tape. But there's the mechanism, so we'll just show a top side view here of the machine. And we can do, what we'll do is we can fast forward it all the way to the ending so you guys can see. Thought I'd show you the high-speed rewind, and we'll see, you know, how long it takes. But, you know, this mechanism is, I'm not sure what the chassis is called, because I'm not interested in VHS machines anymore, and I don't really know the chassis. The betas, I know them like the back of my hand because I work on them all the time, and the beta format was the one that I specialize in. And it's the one that now, I'm not a technician, okay? I'm not a technician. I'm a hobbyist. I work on these as a hobby slash extra income. You know, I don't have the knowledge that a technician does. But can I repair machines? Yeah, most of the time I can repair VCRs, you know, and I am going to be getting some new equipment coming in. I've got an oscilloscope that's coming in. I'm bidding on a signal generator, so I'm going to get some equipment so I can really start doing really good diagnostics, because if you don't have the good tools to do the diagnostics, you know, an oscilloscope is a must for working on electronics. And I haven't had one, and I've just been working without an oscilloscope for, you know, a couple of years, and I need to really get into, you know, I've been working on beta machines since 2016, I think, is when I really started working on the beta machines. So it's stopped. So what it'll do is, if we hit high speed rewind, it's going to retract it. So basically, it's running at the same speed of a rewinder, like a tape rewinder. I figured you guys would want to, you know, see this thing in action. And so, you know, as you can see, there's not as many circuit boards as there used to be in these things. They've really, you know, VHS machines got really cheap in the end. By the year 2000, VCRs gotten so cheap and so simple. There was one board, one circuit board did everything. And with these older ones, they have a lot of circuit boards in them. The capacitors go bad because they're over 30 years old, and they go bad, and sometimes they leak, and sometimes you know, other components can fail, like transistors or stuff like that, you know, because I've had transistors fail almost as much as the capacitors. So that's interesting. When it got to a certain length of the tape, it wrapped it back around the head. So I'm going to put the shielding plate back on, and we'll put it all back together. And we'll put the wooden sides back on. These are the wooden sides. And they go on. And it really makes this machine look really sharp with the side panels. And I have the side panels for my Sony SLHF 1000D. And I'll have to put those on. I ordered that from Japan, and it took about 6 months to get it, simply because the guy just didn't want to ship it, and I had to fight with eBay to get it, but finally got it. So anyway, but yeah, so this thing is working pretty good. It's you know, in order to keep the blue gear from breaking, you need to lubricate the machine. Yeah, we'll show it one more time in action. So let's rewind it all the way. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it all back together, and that'll be the ending of the video. Now, if you're wondering why I have my solder out and my soldering iron out, is because earlier today I was working on the Sanyo. This is a Super Beta. We'll take a look at that later. I was working on it all day. This thing was at first it was no picture, and then I worked on it a little bit and got a picture, but it's black and white, so it plays back in black and white. So there's something else going on with it, and I've got to do some more diagnostics. But sometimes when you're getting somewhere and then all of a sudden you're not getting somewhere on a project, it's best to leave it alone for a while and go to another project or take a break altogether. So that's what I did. Took a break from the Sanyo. I believe, if I remember, it's a 4027, but it's a Super Beta and is the only Sanyo. The 4027 and the 4020 and the 4010 are the only Sanyos that will play back the original Beta 1. This one will play back Beta 1S. Because I've had this model before and sold it, but I think this one I'm going to fix and keep it because I like it. But anyway, this is all back together now, and it's you know, in good condition. So, you know, I got my doors back, and I got a cassette housing that actually works and doesn't have issues. So, you know, now I got a machine that I can just pop a tape in, press play, and it works beautifully. So, with that said, this machine is done, and hopefully you guys liked taking a look at this SLV R5UC high-end Super VHS machine. For you VHS fans out there, this video was for you. And of course, we got the wooden sides all back together. Let's see, on the, oh yeah, we were gonna see when it was manufactured. Let's see, yeah, SLV R5UC is the model number. I don't see a manufacturing date on this thing. But I think it was around real late 80s, like 89, 88, 89, somewhere around in there. So, anyway, I just thought that I would show you. And it's a pretty nice machine, you know, and I do want to order another one. I'm going to try to get one for under $100 that needs to be repaired, and I could take the two machines and make the one good one. So, because I've already got one really good machine, and I'd like to have a second one, because it would be nice to be able to hook two of these up together and make copies, you know, or just the fact that I'll have like two of these would be working. That would be cool. That would be something that I would really like to have. So anyway, that'll be it on this video. Bye bye.